Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Washington Nationals franchise on MLB The Show 23. And the last time I recorded, my audio got messed up. It had it to where it was like another there's like another video playing over the video I had, and I definitely messed something up. I don't know what I did, but instead of uploading that crappy episode, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to show y'all what happened in some of these games because I did record some gameplay. I don't know how much of it's messed up. I have not gone through the full video, but what I do want to do is hop in here and recap what happened in the final month. First things first, we had an injury to catcher Keibert Ruiz, and he finished the year with a 290 batting average, some great ratings boosts, and we would end up calling up a Drew Millis to play a little bit in the majors, if I can talk, Jesus. So the game he got injured was this one right here against Milwaukee, and we finished out the year about what you'd expect. We hopped in here for a game or two, and then we finished the season off with a Mackenzie Gore. He went like 8.2 innings, but could not completely close the deal out. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that that's what happened, and I'm going to try my best to chop it up the best way I can, but the audio it's kind of goofed. So, like I said, I'm going to do what I can, and I might keep some of it in, I might not. I just wanted to let y'all know, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you so much for understanding. I'm still very new to all this YouTube stuff, and we'll figure it out together. How does that sound? All right, thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Washington Nationals franchise on MLB The Show 23. Today, we bring to you the end of the season. We got about 2 weeks left until this whole thing is over. We've got a slew of games. We haven't had an off day in a while, and I guess that's pretty normal for MLB now that I think about it. But yeah, we've got a lot of games coming up. We are still not the worst team. Let me see if I can look at it here. Arizona, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, who has just fell off the face of the earth. Let's take a look at these standings. So we are 62 and 87. The Pirates, the D-backs are looking really rough. And then we have the Kansas City Royals, who are 49 and 100. That is crazy. What the heck has been going on in Kansas City? Let's take a look there. And Bobby Witt is developed. Oh, wow, that power against lefties has gone up 16. 99 speed. Kid's still only 22. And he played another full year, and he looks pretty good. But behind that, Brady Singer, a 4 ERA. They still got Salvi. I'm surprised nobody tried to pick him up at the deadline. Vinny Pasquanio. And, ooh, they might have something here with him. Looks like another young buck. Those hitting stats are off the charts for a first baseman. Franmil Reyes, a Yankee right now, tearing it up. Dylan Coleman, and just, oh, man, not much. And they are easily the worst team in baseball. But let's go ahead and sim through this week, and we will get right back to it. So we have simmed through the month of, we've simmed through the week, and we have some games to go over. But one thing I forgot to mention while I was playing, which game was it? I was playing a game with Bobby Miller. It was his 5-0 shutout with Bobby Miller, and he did pretty darn solid. He went 6 2/3, had a really good outing. But Keibert Ruiz got injured in that game. As you can see there, Riley Adams had to pinch run for him, and he would eventually come into the game, and Keibert is injured. Keibert has a fractured hand, and he will be out for the rest of the season. He has turned into one of our best hitters this year, and he'll end the season batting .290, 11 homers, 49 ribbies, and got to say, pretty darn good season form. Obviously, Israel Pineda would be the guy who gets called up right behind him to fill into that spot, was having a really good AAA year, but he's still got a fractured hand, and he'll be out for the rest of the season. So Riley Adams turns into our starting catcher, who's not bad in his own right. He's got a little bit of pop in his bat, and he spent the full year up behind Keibert Ruiz. So we end up calling up Drew Millis, who is a switch-hitting catcher, and he's got less than desirable, hitting stats, but in 4 ABs, he's got 1 hit, and it was a home run. How about that? So we've made some changes here. We need a AAA catcher, so that would be Wilmer Perez, 24-year-old C potential, and he'll get his chance. And then we still, got a couple guys down here in 2A, but that's the biggest change, and it has to change up with our lineup as well, and Riley Adams will be hitting deep into the lineup here for a lot of these. But look who's caught fire. It is Brandon Adams finally starting to hit the baseball a little bit. Brandon Lewis starting to hit the baseball a little bit better, and 2 home runs, 10 ribbies. And as we're nearing the end of the year, CJ Abrams might have cooled off a little bit, but that average is still nice, and his contacts and his powers and everything are starting to rise. Still needs to work on his stuff with lefty, but Abrams is going to be an elite piece. Corey Dickerson, another guy who's been really surprising for us. Luis Garcia, who's gotten a little bit of a cold streak. Same thing here with Lane Thomas. And Lane Thomas is kind of where we're getting our power from right now. But, the home runs are also coming here from Alex Call and Jaime Candelario. And Donovan Casey, who has been still a little underwhelming for us. We didn't expect much from him, but we knew he was going to be the guy who got the call-up with that B potential. And in the at-bats that he's had, he has not looked too good. And then you look at our bench here, Michael Chavis starting to flip the script a little bit. He's gotten some more chances to hit, but obviously I still think Brandon Lewis is outplaying him at this point. Victor Robles has yet to hit a home run this season, and he's just been a guy on the bench right now. He's still a B potential outfielder. He could be definitely somebody who we trade next season. Another guy is Ildemaro Vargas, who has solid contact and really good vision, and he came out this year swinging, if y'all remember earlier this year, but he's also sort of cooled off, and a guy who we could possibly bring back as he's a nice middle infield guy. Then we got Jeter Downs as we sort of do a rundown of all of our players this year. Obviously, I will do a season recap, and then as we get to the off-season episode, could stream that. It just depends on how interested you guys are in seeing a stream. I'd have to pick out a time to do it, and actually getting people there is a whole nother can of worms, but I'm not too mad at this year, believe it or not. I think that we're going to sim through this final week, and I've been really tracking Bobby Miller. Like I said, I played this game, the game that Caber got hurt, but let's see how Bobby did here. Looks like he got the loss. He went 5.1 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, and it looks like the 6th inning was not fun as Corbin lets up some, Castro lets up some, and then Ramirez goes 1 inning, and not the best. So let's see, what is this? We got contracts, we got coaches' contracts, and this is something else that I wanted to target. Dave Martinez, who's making $1 million to give us crappy ratings, and we've got other guys here who do a good job, but Dave Martinez, he's got 4 years left on his deal, and is this really the guy who we want to lead us through a rebuild? I'm not so sure, but we're going to eat that for the rest of the season. So let's go ahead and sim through a couple of these games. We've got another Bobby Miller start. We obviously won't be playing any of that. And then the final game will be against Atlanta, but let's go ahead and sim through here. The Red Wings don't make it, and the Senators don't make it. Minor league playoffs. And Cole Irwin trying to close us out, and we fall. We've got a 1-run lead to protect here with Victor Arano. I say we can probably hop into this. One of the last series of the year. We've got our closer. Let's hop into this. He hasn't been, he's no Mariano Rivera, but Victor Arana has been very serviceable for us. I guess that's the way you can put it. So we've got no outs, bottom of the 10th. We've got a 1-run lead to protect. So I guess that is the runner rule. And strike one there with Victor Rano. Like I've mentioned before, the guy only really throws 3 pitches, but they get there. And he's been solid for us this year. Had a really low ERA for the longest time, and then stepped into this closer role, started getting those high leverage minutes as this one is driven out near Corey Dickerson, and that's going to score a run to tie the ball game. Not good news as Ozzie Albies drives in the run, and I think it might be time to warm up another guy. So while we're at it, let's just go ahead and warm up Kyle Finnegan a little bit. He's our best, in my opinion, he's one of our best relievers. He hasn't had the ERA to show for it, but he'll have more time to develop that. As Arano, Eli White's hitting second. That's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that, but we're just going to keep throwing him these low fastballs and sinkers. Kind of just want to induce a ground ball here. That one wasn't very low, and it's fouled off. The count goes 2-2 here in this beautiful ballpark. Let's throw him the slider. Let's see if he can pinpoint it. Oh, that thing just kind of went all over the plate, didn't it? 5th pitch, that thing was right down the middle. Okay, let's try a front door slider then. That one lifted. Can Donovan Casey get there? He can't. And that's going to score another run, and the Atlanta Braves are going to walk it off against Victor Arano. Jesus, man. You just can't win sometimes. Not good stuff right there. And just kind of feel like you're out of control in those situations. Eli White, Arano, 2 hits, 1 earned. That end up being the game-winning one. And I'm ready for the season to be over. Let's just put it that way. Tyler Matzik gets the win. All right, to finish off the episode after we go through that little no commentary section, it's a shame because that was a really good game that I had, and it sucks that the footage got ruined. I'm sorry, the audio got ruined there. But what I want to do to finish off the episode is go through the players that we traded at the deadline. Jack Flaherty not being one of them. He'd be a guy we'd keep. But let's take a look at Miguel Sano, who finished out the year with 23 homers. I feel like that's what he had when we traded him. You know, not a guy who really played a lot for them, and I think he could have probably done better for us. And it's kind of a shame because I really liked Miguel Sano, and I wanted to see him go somewhere and thrive. Obviously, he didn't do that, but he's going to be on a playoff team. And as you saw in my my introduction, I guess you could call it, he's going to be a pretty big part. Wow, they traded away a Neil Cruz. What? That's crazy. Tamar Johnson? That ain't no Neil Cruz. Anyways, next up, Twins. We traded them relief pitcher Carl Edwards Jr. That ended up being their best relief pitcher. Finishes the year with 53 games, 2.82 ERA, and finishes out the year pretty darn solidly. Obviously, Twins, though, we're not a playoff team. Kind of sucks because I thought that they might be kind of good this year. Anyways, we move on to the next team that we made a deal with, and that would be Anthony Banda. And he is a starting pitcher for them, and he is currently one of their long relievers. Played a good bit. He's been traded during the season in 3 straight years, and hopefully he'll find some stability. He's still got a couple years of arbitration left in him, and I hope that Anthony could settle down. We could possibly bring him back because he had quite the year for us. You know, obviously this was the biggest workload he's ever had, and I think he took nice advantage of it. And we move on to our last player, the first player that we traded away, the one who we got some of the best prospects for, not JD Martinez, but Joey Meneses. Mookie Betts went down with an injury, torn MCL. He's still going to be out for a while, but we gave them Joey Meneses, and he turned into a hitting machine for them. Just look at that contact and power versus lefties. Against righties, not that bad either. And Joey was a guy who was stuck on a bad team. We knew that we were going to have to trade him to a contender, and we did just that. And he turned into one of the best hitters for them. And let's move on and take a look at these playoffs. So Cleveland and Toronto, the 1 seeds in the AL. San Diego, Milwaukee, the 1 and 2 seeds in the NL. So Yankees play Tampa in a wild card 3-game series. Houston will play LA in a 3-game wild card series. Same goes for St. Louis and Los Angeles Dodgers. Both Los Angeles teams make it to the playoffs, and the Mets will play the Phillies. As I mentioned in my recording previously, we'll watch one of these games if it has one of our guys playing in it, and I will monitor that. The next episode I expect to release will be a season recap that will include one of this, and then we will get to the off-season episode. I might have mentioned this, I might have not, but with my botched recording, I just want to make sure I touch all my bases. So that's the plan going forward. And I want to talk a little bit about how the season went, but I think I'm going to save that for the next episode as Jeff McNeil. Wow. We want to talk about some good contact ratings. Dang, he's been solid. Jeff McNeil, just a really good hitter. Luis Urias, Paul Goldschmidt, Fernando Tatis Jr. had a monster of a year. Trey Turner had another good year. Nico Horner. And where is Luis Guillemot? Because I thought he was nice, but he might not have enough ABs. Let me take a look at that. Where's Guillemot play? He is a 72 overall. He had 222 at-bats and did that. Really solid hitter, and his ratings are showing it. Man, yeah, I'm happy for Luis. He's got great fielding. He could be a trade target down the line, because they've got Brett Beatty sitting here, and he's going to develop into something nice. But Guillemot is also really, really solid. Ronnie Marcio, They've got Jet Williams down here. There's some really solid depth in with the Mets. Well, we didn't even see Tommy Pham out there. And they've got Tim LeCastro, the speedster. Excuse me. Sneezing in videos. What kind of production is this? Gosh. Alright. So, I keep going to that screen. That'll do it for us. I'm going to run down these lineups later on. And I'll give everybody kind of a grade and see how they went. Donovan, not the best year. And then there's guys like Michael Chavis who were able to turn it around a little bit. So I'll get that episode out. I'm going to sim through the playoffs, and like I said, I'll let you guys know if there's anything. Draft pick-wise, not too sure where we're going to be picking at. So the Marlins are worse than us. The Pirates are worse than us. The Reds and the Diamondbacks were both worse than us. Orioles were worse than us. Twins and Royals. So that's, 7 teams right there. And then you've got, your Mariners. So I'd say we're going to pick around the 8 to 12 range. I have not really delved into it, but, maybe a little higher than that. I wonder, hold on, is there a way that I can look at this? I'm not sure. Oh, let's look at this. Jackson Chourio played a little bit in the MLB, did really good. Jordan Walker did not even touch the majors. That's a shame. Jordan Lawler, wow, he got traded. Marcelo Meyer still here. Jax Joe, where is our guys at? James Wood is sitting at 15. Bobby Miller and Robert Hassel all made the list. Somebody's sneezing out there, Jesus. And Elijah Green and Brady House all make the list. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prospects now on the top 50 list. And I gotta say, that kind of warms my heart. Brady House, who is starting to develop into something really nice. Elijah Green, he's going to be a stud. Look at those ratings boosts. He could be MLB ready by mid-next season. And then, of course, you've got your guy, Robert Hassel, who's also developing, loses a little contact, but also gains a good bit. And then, of course, Bobby freaking Miller, who just had a great 5-game stint up into the majors. And James Wood, a guy who struggled a little bit, sent down, but he'll start the year out in 3A. And like I mentioned in his prospect spotlight, he's got a chance to be something really nice for us. Jackson Holiday did not touch the majors. He probably should have. Drew Jones still around. Looks like they're in the playoffs. Yeah, okay, so Drew's here. Jackson Jobe, starting pitcher. I don't know if he was with the Tigers to start. A lot of movement. Kyle Harrison, starting pitcher. Jackson Holiday. Jackson Merrill. Not a lot of these guys really touched the MLB. Marco Luciano had 1 at-bat. Did not do anything with it. So, Evan Carter, how about that 20-year-old A potential? But anyways, like I said, I will leave you guys off there. Again, so sorry about the recording. I can't mention it enough, really. I'm just kind of pissed off at myself that I let it slip, or, I'll just have to figure out what happened. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next episode very, very shortly.